Hi everyone, it's Sandy, and today I will be talking about the books that I wish had sequels. Within this video, I will be talking mostly about standalones, but there are a few series that I will be talking about that I wish had more books. Also, in this video, I'll be talking about sequels and spin-offs, because for some of these books, I'd rather have a spin-off rather than a direct sequel that follows the same characters and has the same overarching storyline. The first book that I want a sequel to is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. This is one of my favorite contemporary books, but it's definitely my favorite summer read. It's also my favorite book written by Morgan Matson, and she is the queen of summer contemporary. In case you don't know what this book is about, it follows Emily, who has this list that is given to her by her best friend named Sloane. The list contains a bunch of things for Emily to do that is completely out of her comfort zone, and so throughout the summer, this list is basically like her bucket list for the summer, and she's trying to do as many things as she can. Although I was pretty satisfied with the ending of this book, there is one thing that wasn't resolved and was left open, and I need to know more about that, and that has to do with another character named Dawn. I'm not going to go into details about that, but I do think that Dawn's character would make a fantastic spin-off. This book would make a great companion series with Dawn as a main character in the spin-off sequel. We don't really see much about Dawn and Collins, but I'm sure we all shipped them throughout this book, and I would love to have this book that just focuses on them. And obviously we'd get to see a little bit of Emily and Frank as well, and that would just be perfect. The next book that I want a sequel to is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and I'm not sure if I want like a direct sequel or a spin-off. The spin-off could focus on Kath's sister Ren or Reagan, but I also wouldn't mind having a direct sequel that follows Kath and Levi. Kath and Levi are one of my favorite fictional couples. I love them both individually and I love them together. With Rainbow Rowell's books, a majority of the book basically leads up to this couple being together, and once they are together, the book ends pretty fast. And with this book, even though I am happy with how it ended, I do want more Kath and Levi, and I am sure that I'm not the only one that wants another book that focuses on Kath and Levi. The next book that I want a sequel to is actually a series, and that is the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a 4-book series. This whole series is basically criminal minds with teenagers that have this natural ability to do certain things. So for example, our main character Cassie is a natural profiler, and we have another character who's a natural at reading emotions. I really love the cases that each book follows, and they're just so intricate and complex, and Jennifer Lynn Barnes just does a fantastic job plotting everything. The overarching storyline of this series has ended with the 4th book, obviously because that is the last book, but the author could definitely add more books to the series and follow a completely different storyline. The books could solely focus on cases, because within the series there is a focus on the cases, but there is also a focus on the characters' backgrounds, which definitely made the series really unique. But now that whole plotline has ended, I feel like the author could definitely add a bunch of different things, and it would be so cool to read about because the author definitely does a great job at writing mystery thriller books. The next book that I really want a sequel to is Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. This is a standalone fantasy book that follows our main character Mare, who is betrothed to a prince in another kingdom. Once she arrives to this kingdom in preparation for her wedding, she meets the sister of the prince. They form this type of friendship, and then these characters start to have feelings for each other, and it's wonderful. There is so much more that can be explored within this world. At the moment, this book is a standalone, but it really needs a sequel. I want one so bad because I want to read more about Denna and Mare, and I really want to know more about this world since there wasn't a lot of world building in the first book, and I can definitely see the world being expanded and more details added to it in a second book. Another book series that I want a sequel to is in the Passenger Duology by Alexandra Bracken. The Passenger Duology is basically like a scavenger hunt through time, so there is a lot of time traveling, and it's so cool seeing all the different places that the characters go to. I want a sequel to be a spin-off because in the second book, Wayfarer, we are introduced to this new character named Lehman, and she and Sophia definitely have a connection, and I would just love a companion novel that follows Sophia and Lehman and all the adventures that they go on. I think that would be so cool because in the second book, the ending didn't really focus on these characters. It was definitely more focused on Edda's character, which is understandable, but I really wanted to know more about Sophia and Lehman. There was probably like one sentence that was mentioned regarding these two characters, and I definitely need more. Sophia definitely became one of my favorite characters when I was reading Wayfarer. We didn't get that much of Lee Min, and we didn't get that much of Lee Min and Sophia together. So I would love a book that focuses on these two characters and the adventures that they go on, and they would be so badass and amazing together. Talking about it right now just makes me really need that book in my hands. Another book series that I really want a sequel to is in the Anna and the French Kiss series by Stephanie Perkins. Since all of the books in this trilogy are companion books, so each book follows a different character, which gives a perfect opportunity for Stephanie Perkins to create another book within this Anna and the French Kiss world. A character that I think would make a great fourth book is Meredith. Meredith is a friend of Anna, and they met each other at the school that Anna goes to in Paris. We don't really know much about Meredith, and I'm pretty sure she did make an appearance in the third book, and I think she would be a great character to follow in a fourth book. It's been almost 3 years since Isla and the Happily Ever After came out, and I know Stephanie Perkins has a new book that's coming out either really soon or that has already been published by the time that I post this video, but that book isn't her typical contemporary fluffy romance. It's definitely very different, which I am excited to read, but I definitely miss her writing, her characters, and the contemporary fluffy romance that she is known for. So I do really want Stephanie Perkins to come out with another contemporary book like this. And the last book that I would love a sequel to is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is a prequel book that follows Kath before she becomes the Queen of Hearts. So obviously you know that by the end of this book, Kath becomes the Queen of Hearts. And I would love a book that follows Kath as the Queen of Hearts. The last line of this book definitely left me wanting more. The Lunar Chronicles is fantastic, and I definitely want to see more retellings written by Marissa Meyer. So I definitely think she can add more to Heartless. Those are all of the books that I wish had sequels. Let me know in comments some of the books that you wish had sequels. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!